Welcome to We Learn Virtual Learning Network. This is session number 7 of the subject Society and Religion, and the chapter is Ritual, a case study from Africa. Topics to be covered are Ndembu Society, Geographical Setting and Economic Life, Matrilineal Descent and Very Local Residence, Matrilineal Descent and Very Local Mukande, the Rite of Circumcision, the State of Induction and the Stage of Seclusion, Turner's Analysis of Mukanda. Ndembu Society. The Ndembu inhabit the northwest region of Zambia in south-central Africa. In many parts of Zambia, contact with the European and their customs resulted in a disintegration of tribal religions which stressed values like tribal unity, kinship ties, and respect for elders. The members of different tribes were increasingly interacting in a non-tribal environment and participating in a modern economic system, seeking employment in new industries and services. Turner was fortunate enough to do his research amongst a people and in a region where the process of religious disintegration, as described, was not taking place so swiftly and completely. Geographical setting and economic life. Turner did his fieldwork in the Munilinga Tempter, which was then inhabited by 18,000 Ndembu. These people were dispersed in scattered villages containing about a dozen huts each in an area as vast as 7,000 square miles. This area was mostly woodland, cut through by numerous rivers and streams. The Ndembu have a subsistence economy. By that we mean that they produce just enough food for their needs. Women grown cassava, the staple vegetable food, in addition to finger millet and maize, which is used for making beer. So this was about their economic life and how they survived on food. Women grown cassava, that was their staple vegetable food, and they also grew finger millet and maize, which was also used for making beer. The Ndembu have a subsistence economy and they produce food for themselves and their needs. And in their scattered villages, the people were dispersed and they had like a dozen huts each, and in 7,000 square miles. So the area was mostly woodland and that was cut through by numerous rivers and also streams, and the inhabitation or the population was 18,000. Hunting is a strictly male occupation and a number of rituals and taboos were associated with it. The major structural principles along which Ndembu society is organized, namely matrilineal descent and very local residence. This will help us to go deeper into the heart of Ndembu rituals and religion. We'll then be able to put our attention to studying the type of descent and rituals that are peculiar to Ndembu religion itself. Matrilineal descent and very local residence. The Ndembu reckon descent from the female line. In other words, a child belongs to the lineage of his or her mother. This is known as matrilineal descent. In most societies with a matrilineal mode of descent, residence tends to be matrilocal. However, in a Ndembu society, very local residence is a cultural norm. That is, a male takes his wife to reside in his own village. This combination of matrilineal descent and very local residence results in certain complications. So when there is the mixing of the two systems, that is a matrilineal descent and also the very local residence, that results in much more problems and complications. Since a man reckons descent from his mother's line, he is entitled to a share in the property of his matrilineal kin, primary or classifactory. Simultaneously, he has the right to take his wife away from her kin to reside in his village. Man has a right to take his wife away from her kin, from her family, to reside in his village, to reside with his family. Thus, women on whom the social continuity of village depends do not live in these villages but their husbands' villages. So they live in their husbands' villages. Divorce and widow remarriage are highly prevalent, so a woman is constantly shifting from one village to another. Men try to keep their sons with them as long as they can, and the father-son relationship is highly ritualized, as we will see later. So they try to keep their sons with them, and their relationship is also highly ritualized, in which lots of rituals are also prevalent. Competition results between maternal uncles and fathers for the mother and her children, owing to the strong patrilocal tendencies in this matrilineal society. Spatial mobility of individuals, families, and villages is very high in the Nedembu society. So, villages are not stable also. Enduring groupings as they are in Indian society, for example, they are constantly being formed and dissolved. They are in a state of flux. So, no village is stable. They are always forming and dissolving. So, in alike, they had also groupings and they are always in a state of flux. Having briefly described the physical and social setting of the Nedembu and the Nedembu ritual system, it's clear then that the whole concept and ideology of the Nedembu is quite different from societies in which the village is a stable unit of analysis and not in flux. So the Nedembu village and the Nedembu society, that was not stable, that was always in a flux, and it also had the groupings. Matrilineal descent in very local residence, life crisis rituals, rituals of affliction. To handle these afflictions, corresponding sets of rituals exist, namely hunters' cults for fertility cults and curative cults, the hunting cult, fertility cults, and the curative cults. Mukande, the rite of circumcision. Turner defines ritual as prescribed formal behavior for occasions not given over to technological routine, having reference to beliefs in mystical beings as powers. In other words, the elements present in 8 ritual situations are certain prescribed ways of acting, the belief that the occasion is sacred or out of the pale of the mundane, profane world, and consequently, the propitiation or calling upon of supernatural forces. Turner's treatment of the Mukanda ritual exemplifies the criteria outlined above. So basically, Turner defines ritual as basically formal behavior, prescribed formal behavior for occasions not basically dependent on technological routine and having reference to mystical beings as powers. The elements present in 8 ritual situations are the prescribed ways of acting, the belief, the occasion is sacred or out of the pale. This particular occasion is sacred and that is not mundane. He presents Mukanda as a series of episodes based on his observations, external appearance, along with comments and exegesis of its symbolism by Nedembu participants. Mukona, one of Turner's Nedembu informants, narrated to Turner the myth which is the foundation of the Mukanda ritual. The story is that once upon a time, a child was left playing in the grass by his mother. The sharp grass blades cut the foreskin of his penis. When the men of the village saw what had happened, they completely removed the foreskin with a razor. The wound healed and all the men decided to adopt the practice. Mukanda is thus a healing process. Uncircumcised men are regarded as polluting because dirt gathers under the foreskin. The social significance of Mukanda is a separation of the boy from his mother and his ritual identification with the father. The stage of induction. Before the rites begin, food and beer are stocked at the sponsoring village and a campsite is cleared for the novices and their kin. On the day before circumcision, the circumcisor set about preparing Ku-Kolish medicine whose ingredients are the leaves and bark scrapings of certain species of trees. Kulkoshe is used in several episodes in Mukanda. Its most important ingredient is the bark scraping of the Chikoli thorn tree. The Chikoli tree has tremendous ritual significance. It symbolizes whilst the medicine is being prepared, the circumcisers dance and sing songs. The words of these songs reflect their power over the novice and the separation of the novice from his mother. The stage of seclusion. It normally lasts for a period of 3 to 4 months. However, in the particular Mukanda ritual recorded by Turner, it lasted only 2 months. Such a long-lasting rituals which take from 2 to 4 months to complete are very much an important aspect of Nedembu society. It also indicates to us that such tribal customs are very important for societal cohesion and specific role playing, for example, the role of a headman. The building of the novice lodge is the first part of this stage. The lodge is a crude structure built out of twigs and grass. Novices enter the lodge and eat and sleep in groups based on friendship rather than kinship. They are in the charge of a lodge instructor who takes care of them, ensures that they maintain feet taboos. The secrets of the lodge may never be revealed, although this rule is being increasingly violated. The rites of return. After their period of seclusion is completed, novices are decorated with patterns of white clay for their public appearance after Mukhanda. This decorative disguise marks the fact that they are changed persons, especially for their mothers. They are no longer children, they have entered the adult, more moral community. They are taken to their parents' camp and greeted with songs and rejoicing. There is a night-long dance in which the novices participate. This is a side taboo to women and uncircumcised children. That night, the boys are carefully dressed and decorated for the final grand celebration. The lodge instructor makes a final speech commanding the novices to maintain food and also taboos. The Ku Tombola dance then begins. The performance of the boys is discussed and evaluated. The boys then go back to their own villages where further celebrations take place. Turner's analysis of Mukunda. Mukunda helps redefine parent-child relationships, and it is as a mechanism for restoring equilibrium in society and as a struggle for prestige. These are some of the questions. What are some of the values imparted to the novices in the lodge? And use 5 lines for your answer. How does Mukunda modify the relationships between parents and their son? Use 5 lines for your answer. That's all. Thank you. Happy learning. Be learning.